This the War Report, coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric, and the voice of NEW, Vince Berry, hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT, handing out Smackdowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here, no safe space. Now listen in, time to hear from some of the greats.
I love that little
right.
I can't. White people can't pull that off.
Of course, YouTube is gonna lag on me now. Thank you, YouTube. Bunch of jabronis. Anyway,
Raw reunion next week.
what?
Oh, hell yeah.
What?
Raw reunion next week.
Now, Stone Cold has some long history with a lot of guys, especially two guys that are in charge now, Heyman and Bischoff. And I would love to see a little throw it back to like 2004, 2005 era of or whatever that year was, where it was Bischoff and Stone Cold on Raw. Nice little nod to that.
I want to see an interaction between Kevin Owens and Stone Cold.
Well, he's using the stunner now. Yeah, we got to see how that goes.
The stunner, and they're ultimately trying to make him the new Stone Cold. So, that was evident with his quick little run through the crowd, stunner to Shane, and then ran back out. I mean, that's vintage Austin.
Did you see the thing on Twitter that Kevin Owens posted last week? Was all the pictures of people who won't be appearing on the pay-per-view because Shane's on it, and it's got like a bunch of SmackDown people, but then it's got like Mantar, Billy Kidman, all these random other people included in it.
That's funny. Chairman.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys hear the extended list for this reunion? I mean, listen, we got so much shit to cover, but real quick, you know who I'm excited for that was just announced for this group that's coming back next week? He's Psycho.
Oh, yes. Fucking
And he's
Sid.
Fucking Sid. We got Sid. We got Sergeant Slaughter, Jimmy Hart, Hulk Hogan, Razor Ramon, Diesel, Santino Marella, Boogeyman. The list goes on and on. It's going to be an amazing show. It's going to be an awesome
Santino Marella and Boogeyman. All we need is Jim Cornette.
I kind of want to see Boogeyman and Bray Wyatt.
But do you want to see? Which Bray Wyatt do you want to see? Do you want to see the Funhouse with the sweater, or do you want to see the mask?
No, I want to see the motherfucker we saw last night.
That was
which
something
was
else.
one of the best parts of Raw last night. As soon as Finn Balor went up like this and the lights started to go and the music started, I was like, "Oh shit, it's Wyatt! This is happening right now!" And then, sure enough, it was him. I was like, "Because who else could it have been?"
Right.
Yeah.
After 7 hours of wrestling, this between the last 2 days, and then another 2 hours tonight, they're going to cobble together about 2 or 3 hours of decent wrestling. Like, there was some stuff that could go, but there was some good stuff. Between the pay-per-view and Raw, you filter out the things that you wouldn't necessarily care for. It was decent. It wasn't bad.
So where do we start? I mean, I guess we got to start with Extreme Rules, right? And listen, I want to say this, and this is the first pay-per-view in a while that I've looked at, the feeds afterwards and, the comments, which are usually pretty brutal lately after a pay-per-view. And the overall feeling of this pay-per-view was positive.
Yeah, even I liked it.
Which, that says a lot.
Right? There you go.
Same.
But I think overall it was pretty positive. I
didn't hate it.
Some of the finishes, I guess, are questionable, but I truly believe Heyman had a lot to do with the swapping of the belts, switching things up a little bit. Listen, as much as as I love Ricochet, and he had a small little taste of a run. Well, I guess you can't really call it a run. It wasn't even 30 days.
It was a jog.
But he had a taste, but you had to know that AJ was going to go over. And if anything, Ricochet still looked good as hell. So, to me, it is what it is. The New Day was a surprise for me. I didn't expect
that was huge. Yeah,
I picked Heavy Machinery for that one.
Oh, I did too, Eric.
I picked Heavy Machinery also.
I fucked that one up.
Huh?
I apparently didn't pick any.
Sam goes, when was I supposed to fill it out? I'm like, before the pay-per-view.
I'll fill it out after. You'll get an advantage.
Yeah, you can start catching up. But I just overall, I thought it was a decent pay. And let me tell you something. As much as people were pretty sour about the whole Corbin and Lacey and Rollins and Becky, I enjoyed that match. There were certain spots of that match that I enjoyed a lot. Like when Lacey kind of rubbed up on Seth a little bit, and then Becky went ballistic with the kendo stick, and then the same thing with Corbin, and then Corbin eventually giving Becky Day's End. I thought that was I don't think any of us really saw that coming, because they just don't do that.
I thought his face was priceless after he gave it to her.
No,
he said to Rollins, "What are you gonna do about it, you piece of shit?"
Yeah,
like that's somebody said that was the best 2 minutes of Baron Corbin's career. Probably was.
Well, it's probably the best 2 minutes of the Extreme Rules. So, but that's just me.
There was
how could you call it Extreme Rules with no extreme? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, they did some tables. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of extreme, but in the main event, they had some tables and kendo sticks and stuff.
There's tables under the ring every day.
This is true. They do have a lot of tables. It used to be that they used those tables as the tables the announcers or the timekeepers would sit at, and there was a kayfabe reason for them. Now it's just hey, well, people like using them as a weapon, so we're just going to keep.
Hey, guess what? We have tables. How many tables you guys got on there? I'll break them all.
One time, I was reading something online. Someone's like, I work at a guitar center near whatever arena it was, and WWE ordered 20 acoustic guitars because Elias was going to be there, and I don't know why they needed 20, but I guess they felt that they needed to have. Maybe they just bought a bunch at once, and then whenever they run out, they go to a guitar center or wherever. But it was interesting to hear they just apparently have a bunch of guitars ready to go. I'm picturing that scene in The Matrix. What do you need? Which was guitars.
I agree with
lots of guitars.
I agree with Sam on the whole. It wasn't really extreme, and especially being in Philly, Heyman's promo prior to building up the fact that he knows extreme and that this is Philly. I was definitely expecting maybe a little more ECW type of feel to the pay-per-view. And I'll tell you the biggest disappointment for me, and I don't know if anyone else picked up on this. I'm sure you had to have, but for me, for a Philly crowd, the crowd sucked.
Yeah, it didn't seem like
the crowd was lackluster. They weren't, it just wasn't a typical Philly type of crowd. I don't know,
but for the Philly crowd to get involved in what was going on in the ring, though, that was tough too.
I mean, that's true too. I don't know. I mean, there were a few, pops here and there, but overall,
the Raw crowd wasn't much better.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about I think here's what happened. This is kind of like when people didn't like The Last Jedi, and then they didn't go see Solo, but Solo was a better movie than The Last Jedi, but Solo still didn't make as much money. It's like people are conditioned for Raw to be bad, so when it's actually decent, decent to good or great, they don't really know how to react. If it was really great, they'd react a lot, but because it's it's better, but it's not quite where they want it to be.
This is boring chant last night was fantastic.
Oh, what? If anybody
during the women's match,
that was fantastic. It's been a while since we had one of those.
If you have
she was really pissed off.
Oh yeah, Alexa was apparently
real personally
not good. Also, Instagram. I guess her Instagram story, she was still not happy about it. But if you have a spare 10 minutes, if you listen to Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez talk about that match, oh man, they're like, it was a 24-minute match. It should have been half that. And, it was just.
They're not wrong.
They're not. And also, I've seen a lot of comments online about if we're going to be switching it up and changing things and giving people opportunities, the choices that they made for who was in that match and then who was in the Rumble match in the main event were same old, same old. If we're going over a new leaf here, the girls, especially the girls.
Yes, and I got to be honest with you. I'm not overly excited about Natty.
No,
at least Natty could put on a good match.
She's great in the ring, but
last night, at least she came out of her shell a little bit, even though you could tell it was really hard for her to do that. And at the same time, it just, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a good match, to be honest with you. I feel like it's going to go over well.
I think it'll end up being a good match, but it's just like, I don't know how much heat's going to be behind it.
Well, they got to get away from the friend thing and more, personal shit. I mean, she said,
right.
Bitch. I never heard Natty say that ever.
That's why I think it's about her time to show up something different.
Yeah, they're trying to do something different.
If there's anything Natty needs is a change. As awesome as she is in the ring, she needs a bit of a character change, a little bit.
Tyson Kidd should come out and kick Becky Lynch to the back of the head.
Oh, jeez. I had a weird theory about Becky Lynch and Baron Corbin. It hasn't come true yet, but I want to put it out there. I think they set up Becky versus Baron, and she wins tap out via the armbar. And I feel that they set that up weeks ago with her putting the armbar on Mike Bennett and getting the win. I feel like that's coming.
That would make sense. I mean, that AEW said that they're not going to do the mixed gender matches, so that'd be a nice,
And WWE responded by doing it's so strange because I didn't think WWE would even with Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff, they're trying to push the envelope. I didn't think they would do the man on woman stuff. I thought they'd stay away.
Heyman was always behind the intergender stuff, even in EC.
All the way back. Yeah.
Pile driven, right? Or Beulah.
Beulah got. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
but then she had that match with.
Beulah was like 90 pounds too. That was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she had a match with Fonzie where he
that was
bled.
very entertaining.
Oh my God, he fucking bled so much. Oh, it was great. Another thing that I guess we should probably put over here is our friend here, Drake Maverick.
That guy is the best.
This poor guy is walking around in his fucking underwear.
How great was that
I almost
video?
thought he had nothing on under the belt.
It's
I think he's going to be bigger than our Truth is with this 24/7 thing. Because Drake Maverick.
I don't need to see Drake's Maverick.
Oh. I don't.
Our Truth. I hope you're not still constipated.
Oh, you're not constipated no more. Oh my God.
National treasure, damn it.
But again, now I hope, Steve, you got to ask Stacy this later so we can get an answer. But I feel like a good wife would try and break up the pin.
Oh, Stacy would have.
See? Okay, there we go.
Anything. She just
this is twice. She was there twice.
Oh, now, hold on. She was like half naked. So
yeah,
maybe
but what about when she was wearing the wedding dress? She was fully clothed. She could have broke it up.
Oh, that's true. And she is in the business, isn't she?
Yeah.
I think the whole point is that, she's fighting him for wanting to do this. And then over time, it's going to be like she's going to jump in and take the belt. And I think that'll be fantastic.
This is ending with her winning that belt for sure.
That would be fantastic.
Oh, that would be amazing.
And that would be a good way if they were ever interested in actually bringing her on as a wrestler to introduce her, because then they're like, oh, she's Drake Maverick's wife, blah, blah, blah. But remember, everybody, she competed in the Mae Young Classic, blah, 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 all this shit. And then she comes out and actually wrestles and like surprises people because, hey, she's not just like some hot girl that he married. Like she's an actual wrestler. So I think that would be a good little introduction for her if they wanted to go that direction. Yeah, I'm still not over Heavy Machinery not winning the tag team titles. As much as I like the New Day,
that was one hell of a match.
Yeah, it was. Hashtag justice for Otis. It was his time.
He's so funny.
He's the
Justice
fucking
for Otis.
boss. Justice for Otis. Forget about Coney 2012. We got bigger problems. Otis doesn't have a title.
It's
He
coming
will-
though.
It's
Oh,
coming.
yeah.
Definitely coming.
And
In a
even
way,
the other guy.
In a way, I'm kind of happy that the New Day did win, only because they're not going to break them up and turn Big E heel anytime
Right,
soon.
and plus Kofi's champion, so they're all got gold. That's
And now Woods says he wants to go after Nakamura. So we'll see where that goes. I don't think they'll have him beat Nakamura. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, they have
Nakamura needs the
everybody.
House of the belt for a while now.
Yeah. I think Nakamura could hold that US title for a good long
Well, I don't know. I
while.
mean, everybody beats Nakamura, so
It's true. I mean, literally, the guy basically retired from New Japan and came here, and this is like his second job. So he just kind of does this.
yeah, his
And-
first job is surfing.
Right, and he loves surfing. This is just like his side gig, which is kind of disappointing because the Shinsuke Nakamura of New Japan was a fucking monster, and was
He
a
was
very,
so
you know,
over, and they should have let him take it in Mania. That's all
that was also the downfall. The you know,
I mean, even in NXT, Nakamura was great.
oh yeah, that first match that he put on was Sammy.
I was there. It was
oh
amazing.
god, that was one of the best matches of all time.
That was in Dallas. I was there for that. It was incredible.
Man.
What are they going to do with Sammy, though? It's about time Sammy gets something.
Yeah. Go ahead, Steve.
I like what they're doing with his character, but you're right. They gotta do something.
Yeah.
I mean, think about all the matches he's been in that's been fantastic. Him and Cesaro, him and Shinsuke, him and Owens, him and everybody. Like, name a bad match with him. That wasn't a shitty tag team match.
Speaking of which, Aleister Black Cesaro to me stole the show.
Oh yeah, that was the
Match of
best
the night.
match by fucking.
That was
mile.
awesome.
I mean, we've seen it before, but yes, it was definitely awesome.
And Aleister Black won, and I think he's going to be one of the guys that they're going to hopefully. I mean, I don't want to jump the gun, but it seems like if they want to build a new guy to be a serious contender, whether it's for like the U.S. title or for the world title, it's a good start. You know, he needs to put on a couple more performances, work his way up, because like Cesaro is a good wrestler, but he's always been positioned as a mid-card guy. So get a win over him, move up a little, take on a guy that's, you know, like, did he wrestle Drew in NXT? Those two guys ever wrestle?
Yeah, I think they did. Was it?
Well, if they did, run it back. I'll see that again. Like, those two guys can beat the piss out of each other, and I would watch it every day. You know,
Yes, they did.
him and Cesaro. So Black and Cesaro just, I mean, they beat the fucking brakes off each other and had a hard hitting wrestling match. You know, it wasn't something else. It was a wrestling match, and it was very, very well done.
What about them jobbing Drew last night?
Oh,
Cedric got a big win.
yeah, you know what? I like that. I like that Cedric won, but it's just funny because
No way. Cedric over Drew?
Cedric's my boy, though. I gotta stand up for Ced. You know, me and him go way back. I'm happy to see, but here's the thing. At the same time, while I'm glad Cedric is getting a win and he's getting featured on TV, and they put him into a storyline based on what happened with that masked janitor bullshit last week, that's cool. But they're jobbing out Drew, which shouldn't be happening right now. He's not a guy that should be losing. And if you look at the fucking Battle Royal, how many guys were in that Battle Royal that lost their match the night before?
Right.
That's true, too.
And the same thing with the fucking why is Alexa in the she's competing to be the number one contender for the Raw Women's Championship. She just lost a championship match last night, 24 hours. Why she shouldn't be in that match?
Well, she's lost like the last 3 matches she's been in.
Yeah.
But they always do that too. They always seem to book 2 people against each other that neither can afford a loss.
Yeah, and I don't know why they do that when they have such a big roster that if you need to beat somebody, you've got fucking 30 guys that could do it. It doesn't make it.
They gotta
Really,
do
some of
something.
this stuff doesn't make sense.
I
But
really hope the writing changes. I really do.
well, you can see it. There's already you can definitely feel the changes because like during the main event, like during the entrances to the main event of the pay-per-view, Lacey Evans presented her asshole to the audience, and then the camera zoomed in on it. Although that might have been a take on the time Bobby Lashley presented his asshole to the audience.
Oh God!
You know, hit him with your favorite pose, big man. But anyway, you can tell, and like the language, and you know, Natty saying "bitch" is just so out of character. But it's like we need something extreme. You know,
And Renee Young did not say "fucked," but it sounded like it.
she says she didn't say "fucked." She has to,
It
even if
sounded-
she did say it. You don't. I mean, she probably didn't say it, but even if she did, she's not going to admit to it.
Yeah.
So, I think we should talk more about Bray Wyatt
Yes.
because that mask is awesome.
That's scary as fuck.
Oh my God! It's just it. I can't even describe it. It's like I don't want to say it's slimy, but it's got a texture to it. It's weird. It's really weird, and that's great, but it's just so
Makes
ill.
me not want to go to sleep.
You look at it and you feel uncomfortable.
Well, that's the idea.
Yeah, but it's just like there's so few things. Like when Kane came back that one time, and they decided to change his mask for the 84th time, but it was supposed to look like human skin, but instead it looked like when you were a little kid and your mom gave you a piece of ham and you chewed out 2 eye holes and you stuck it on your face.
What about the time when he had the welder's helmet?
Right, and the welders, like they had so many opportunities to take Kane's mask. First of all, the original Kane's mask and the one where they cut the mouth out, where it was basically the same thing but with the mouth cut out, were fucking fine. No reinventing the wheel here. If it works, it works. But if you're gonna try and reinvent it, you could have made that shit really scary, and instead of it looked like a piece of Smithfield ham. So this is the chance, and they did it. I mean, they worked. First of all, they worked with Tom Savini, special effects artist and director, big time horror guy. Worked with George Romero on the zombie movies. Did the special effects for Dawn of the Dead, etc., etc.
Tom Savini's a fucking man.
Cockshot in From Dusk Till Dawn. Several other on-camera roles, but also now runs a special effects school in Pennsylvania and still does film work, prosthetics and masks and latex and the foam heads. And like when you want to do practical special effects, he's the guy you go to. And they created a terrifying looking, like, I don't think little kids, we don't have Kat on today to ask, but I don't think little kids would like that shit. Like, I think it's going to have
will not be able to watch that.
That's the intended effect, though. Like, that's really good that they've. You need a character like that. We had the Undertaker for so
definitely
long.
we wanted Slipknot to enter the ring, so definitely.
That's funny.
It could be a mushroom head. You never know.
It's oh my God, and it just looks like skin stretched out with the band. Oh, it's cool. Yeah.
So here's another question. How did we feel about Undertaker? I thought he looked pretty damn good at the pay-per-view.
Really good.
Yeah, I mean, that new hip worked out for him.
Right?
And he needed to get back in ring shape. And I mean, fuck, who wants to wrestle in Saudi Arabia? You had to probably take a 16-hour plane ride and then go out in 100-degree heat with all this humidity and sweat your balls off and wrestle a guy who also hasn't wrestled in 3 years. And yeah, predictable result.
I can't wait to see Goldberg in the ring again.
You know, I'm interested to see what they do if they bring Goldberg.
Honestly, he wants to redeem himself from what happened with Taker.
Yeah.
No, I think he's kind of stated that too, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He definitely. But would they want that?
Here's how you redeem him. Let him continue doing one move and then go home. That's it. That's how you redeem yourself.
That's really. I mean, the Goldberg matches are supposed to be 3 to 5 minutes
And
long.
listen, quite honestly, if WWE didn't want to give him that opportunity, there's always AEW.
Oh
And
God.
he can beat the fucking librarian.
Be against Taker again, or would it be against somebody else?
No, hell no, not against Undertaker.
I don't think Taker would want to wrestle him again.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
You got an argument that they had.
You put him against fucking Sami Zayn, who's good and he can get a lot of heat, and they don't have to wrestle a lot. Sami can roll out of the ring and do his fucking wiggly ball sack dance. I don't know what he does, and then, Like, and then just get everybody to boo him, and then he rolls back in the ring, and Goldberg spears him and hits the jackhammer, and the fucking match is over, and everybody goes, "Oh, look, Goldberg's good again." No, we did what we were supposed to do with Goldberg. When you overexpose Goldberg, that shit's what happens. It's like sex. If it goes past 3 to 5 minutes, you're doing it all wrong. Who has that kind of time?
I ain't got time for that. That's funny.
I mean, that Goldberg, two guys in their 50s, pushing 60, in the heat of Saudi fucking Arabia, where the sun might as well be 5 feet from your face. It was a recipe for disaster.
I just think it was Goldberg.
I think Goldberg got himself fucked up, but everything else just doesn't help. You know, the plane ride and the heat.
He should just stay home and be a father. Cut his shit.
And you know that, and that's fine.
That's
too.
not harsh at all.
There are ways. I want to see what they're going to do with Sid, because the last time I showed you guys Sid was, I think, a week or two ago, because I'm Facebook friends with his son, and it was a picture of Sid playing with his grandson. And this is a guy who I've seen fuck people up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and I've seen him jump off the ropes and break his goddamn leg.
Oh, that was horrible.
That's hard to watch.
That video is brutal.
It's really hard to watch.
I'm interested if he comes out and gives anybody a power bomb. If he comes out and says he's the master and ruler of the universe, I've got half the brain that you do, or whatever the fuck that was that time he fucked up.
Can we do this again? It's live TV, pal.
Yeah,
All right, cut it. Let's do it again. This is live TV, pal.
It was a fucking pay-per-view, Sid. What did you think was going to happen?
Sid is the best.
I love, and here's the thing: people have to understand, if you're watching this with a critical eye and you go back and you watch anything that Sid did now with 2019 sensibilities, you go, "This guy stinks. How was he over?" And here's the thing: he was huge. He was built. He was jacked. He had a good look.
And he turned on Hulk Hogan. That's all it took.
And
that's all you ever have to do.
Because he matched up. It wasn't like when Tugboat turned on Hogan. Oh, what's he gonna do? Nobody can, like, fucking. Of course, Tugboat was gonna lose. This guy was like a younger, bigger, fucking blonder Hulk Hogan, and it was like, holy shit. Yeah, with more hair.
How many strands of hair he had? That's what we go for.
Sid still got hair. Good for him. Hogan, I don't think, has any hair left.
Oh, it's attached to the bandana.
It really, it's so obvious that it is, because it's all exactly the same length and color.
I want to buy one of those bandanas with some extra Hogan hair on it. Maybe they have a gluten-free Hogan hair bandana.
A gluten-free.
You gonna eat it?
It all depends.
You just want to get some of that residual HGH and steroids. You just eat Hogan's hair. It's
when like when 330 pounds.
When the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got the ooze dumped on them, it's like eating Hogan hair. You're just going to transform into him.
Largest arms in the world, brother.
That's funny.
Oh, good times.
That's funny.
Man. Yeah, man, Sid was fucking over. I hope he gives somebody a power bomb.
I see Vince is big on Sid. I like it.
Dude, I mean, you know.
I got a question for you. Sid or Cedric Alexander?
Ah, man. See, I'm friends with Cedric, but I think I still got to go with Sid. I'm sorry, Cedric. Yeah, Sid, I mean, if the match is Sid versus Cedric, I would, for everybody's sake, I hope it only lasts like 5 seconds, because I don't want to see Sid try and wrestle Cedric.
You know what'd be good? Sid versus the Scottish Psychopath.
Oh my God, that's like Sid versus Scottish Sid.
Sid Jr.
Have you seen? Okay, I'm not going to share his photos on fucking a podcast, but through Messenger I'll show. Sid's kid is Sid, literally like Sid Jr., and should have wrestled. I don't know why he didn't. He's a goddamn monster. He would have been a star.
Well, you want to talk about kids? Let's talk about Brock Lesnar's 17-year-old who has reported to the Performance Center.
I heard that was fake.
Just what?
I heard that was fake. Ryan Satin said that was fake.
No, don't toy with me. I got excited.
Don't toy with me.
Well, because the kid, I mean, the picture that they show, the kid, I mean, it definitely could be Brock's kid. It looks like him. And the kid is shredded.
All right, so the profile Luke B. Lesnar, which recently went viral, is actually a fake account. The person is using someone else's picture is named Bryce Winkleman. If you click on the above, you'll find the real Instagram account with the exact same pictures that Luke B. Lesnar uses, with more pictures dating back to as early as 2015. And as of now, looks like the Luke B. Lesnar Instagram account has been removed. There's another fake one on Twitter, Luke_Lesnar, likely ran by the same person.
Okay, that is absolutely devastating news.
It's the worst. When I saw that,
kid, I'm telling you, if you look at that picture, you can see like some facial features of Brock in there. It actually looks like he could be.
Well, I think the WWE needs to sign Bryce Winkleman.
I mean, I want to see Heyman go Luke Lesnar.
Yes, yeah. No, I'm with you, man.
So listen, we haven't touched on this much yet. So now, since that was brought up, how are we feeling about Brock Lesnar once again being champion?
Well, as we said before, Seth Rollins was a placeholder, so something had to happen.
Or did they want Brock on Fox?
I don't know. Like,
I'm honestly more upset with the fact that they wasted a whole battle royal just for Seth to get the shot again.
Well, we knew that was happening.
That's a fight to get back into the number one contendership because they don't give rematches anymore.
I know, but
it's wrestling though. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. I don't know. Like, here's my thing. I like Brock when he's around,
right?
But now his UFC career's done, right? Like, that's been confirmed.
Yeah, he says he's done.
So maybe he's going to be around more. Like, maybe his focus will be this, and he'll be around more. Who the hell knows? But
I don't think he has to be around. I think I agree with Heyman with all that stuff he put out. It was like, he's an attraction. The point of us is to get to him. You know what I mean? I always think of that old adage from the original Mortal Kombat in the arcade. You got to get to Shang Tsung. And I just thought that was cool.
I kind of get that, but I don't know. I feel like the championship.
Who are we going to give the championship to? We're going to give it to Braun Strowman.
Here's the difference. Let's do this.
Ryback?
Hold on.
Ryback Strowman?
Here's the difference. All right? Back in the day, when Hogan was champion, Hogan didn't defend that title unless it was a pay-per-view.
I was just going to say that. You're right.
Pay-per-views were like every 4 months or whatever, right? Now you have a situation where you have a champion that doesn't show up for 4 or 5 months at a time. And even in the time that Hogan was champion and not defending, he was still there, cutting promos or coming out and doing a save, or, he was around. Brock just fucking disappears for months at a time. And that's the difference to me.
That's true. But you're right. If he decides to stick around and not screw around like that, it's fine.
But I agree that he's an attraction and that you should have to pay to be able to watch him defend the title.
Yeah, but he's definitely an attraction for sure. And he's a draw, despite what people say about him. People will come to see Brock Lesnar if he's facing the right opponent.
Listen, the crowd still went berserk when he won the title. They popped huge. So
absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, it really is. I mean, we've reset to like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? We're just going in circles.
What about that CM Punk tweet?
I heard that Punk trolled Shane, but what did he say? What was the tweet?
I believe the tweet was, "Is that a fan in the ring?" And it was Shane McMahon laid out. Which I thought was pretty clever because it did look like kind of a bum just laid out in this ring.
That's funny.
I don't know why. Maybe I'm just not used to seeing it because Vince has always been so fit, but Shane's just getting fatter and redder and fatter and redder and fatter and redder as the days go on.
Yeah, it looked like he was putting on some weight too. I saw that.
But you can't be using the best in the world moniker and not expect CM Punk to say something eventually.
Yeah.
Well, they asked the fucking kid, and the kid about best in the world, and the kid said CM Punk.
Bright kid.
Which kid was that?
It was like at a live event. They did one of those like walk around the audience and ask people questions kind of thing.
Who's the
Oh,
best
yeah,
in the
yeah,
world?
yeah.
CM Punk.
I don't know how that kid would even know. He'd have to go back on the network and look for it.
Yeah, otherwise he'd say like Chris Jericho or something.
I mean, it's only $9.99, so.
Cheap up.
Yeah, just in case you don't know.
What else we got?
Oh, Steve, I know you said something about like what's it called, the Street Profits not be like. I admit
They're starting to grow on me a little bit. They were pretty damn funny at the pay-per-view.
a little more extra on Raw compared to what they were in NXT. However, I got to say they said some funny shit to Alexa and Nikki the other day because
that was
funny.
I love when, like what's his name? He goes fucking D'Lo 2.0. You know what I'm talking
Angelo.
about. Angelo Dawkins. He goes, "Is it weird that I want to party with her?"
Yeah, I like that because it was like he still recognized that Nikki is potentially like Alexa. Yes, of course, but she's like the hot cheerleader in school, whereas Nikki's like the weird girl, but she still would be fun to party with.
Yeah.
We want smoke.
Yeah, even though she's wearing those fucking mom jeans, I can't stand them.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with mom jeans.
I don't know. They're not flattering jeans, but I don't know.
I was
guess that's
expecting Alexa to turn on Nikki after
Yeah.
they lost and start that feud. I guess they're going to drag this out a little longer.
They have to drag it because Alexa can't go 100% of the ring yet still. So they got to have that buffer.
Right, they got to have them team for a while, maybe be contenders for the women's tag team titles, maybe win those, but I don't know. But you heard about tonight, right? Big match tonight.
What's tonight? Bischoff's officially running it tonight.
Yes, but tonight one of the matches is the Iconics versus number 13 Beef with Broccoli side of White Rice for the tag team titles.
That's hilarious. Well, they're winning.
Yeah,
I think they're going to take the belts off.
They have to. That's going to be a Bischoff decision.
Took me a second to get that. I admit.
Well, you didn't realize they just picked their name off a list of the most racist tag team names. We'll go with Kabuki Warriors because that was the least offensive one.
God.
There was one writer who just said, "Remember the WCW tag team, the Ding Dongs? Well, you're going to be the Ching Chongs." They're like, "No, we're not going with that." Oh, fine, be the Kabuki Warriors. Shit.
And is there any use for Paige anymore?
Yes, to keep Paige around so we can look at her.
I guess we can turn to Paige on that one.
No, I'm glad that they're giving Paige something to do.
Yeah, I will never complain about
That's something to do.
Well, yeah.
She can't wrestle.
She can't wrestle. At least, this way she's still on TV.
And she's not saying, "Paige here." Yeah. I was there live. That was the most annoying shit ever. They played that like 10 times throughout the night at the Superdome.
What about Daniel Bryan's announcement tonight?
Yeah,
Him and Rowan are starting their own compost company, and they're going to start by shitting right in the middle of the ring, and then get a bunch of hay and put it on top of the shit, and they're going to start their composting right there. It's good for the environment.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
No, what do you guys think it is? I have absolutely no fucking idea.
I don't know.
I just hope he goes home and buys some muscles.
I think he's going to go single again. I don't think they're going to keep him and Rowan together.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's going to be
buy some of that Hogan hair bandana thing to get some muscles again.
He needs some Hogan hair. Sprinkle some Hogan hair on him.
He should have.
I'm surprised Vince just doesn't have that like in a safe somewhere. And he unlocks. It's like behind a picture of Vince McMahon, and then you open the safe, and then you go in, and there's just strands of Hulk Hogan's hair in case he needs to clone him one day.
Or jars of Scott Steyer's sweat to make your body grow.
Just little vials. This is every urine sample from the past 40 years. Oh shit. I don't think it's going to be a real announcement. They'll tease that it's like a retirement thing or whatever, and it's going to be typical WWE heat building. Usually, like when Alexa comes out and starts acting all sweet and nice or whatever, then she goes, "Just kidding, I'm still a bitch." Like it's going to be one of those things where he's going to be like real sincere and quiet, and he's going to talk real low, and then he's going to start shouting again because he can't control the volume of his voice, and he's going to shout, and then everybody's going to boo him.
Is that before or after?
Before or after they shit? I don't know. Maybe during.
I read something. Someone pitched some idea where Daniel Bryan goes all like corporate and shit, and is like the anti-Kevin Owens or something. And so like they do a feud between those two.
So they're just going to overnight just change his gimmick completely?
I don't know. That's
and then Mark Henry comes out and says another retirement speech.
Oh, man.
Nothing. Give Daniel Bryan his jacket.
That fucking salmon jacket should be in. When there's a WWE Hall of Fame building, there will be boots from Hulk Hogan, a cowboy hat from Dusty Rhodes, and the goddamn salmon jacket from Mark Henry.
That you can fit 12 human beings in.
Yeah, I mean that was legendary. He came out everybody. If you say that you thought that it was a work, you're fucking lying. Everybody thought that was real.
Dude, he had tears in his eyes. I mean, that was a hell of a fucking...
He sold it so well.
He should have won an Oscar.
At the next WrestleMania Access, it'll be how many human beings can fit in the salmon jacket.
You could have like your whole family in it, looking like Jared from Subway, before and after. Like you just fit everybody in there. Oh, maybe not Jared from Subway because he's a pedophile.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe not him.
He had it all. Free subs for life. He lost weight, looking good. Had to go fucking diddle some kids, bro. Not good.
The guy's sick.
Serious, like I don't get it. I don't get it. But we're not here to talk about that. There are plenty of podcasts that talk about pedophiles, I'm sure, just like true crime and serial killers. But this is not it.
Then we'd have to segue into Lex Luger on his battery charge against Miss Elizabeth from 2003.
Oh no. I thought you were going to say Lex Luger has a battery-powered wheelchair. I knew he was in bad shape, but I mean,
he has that, yes.
Bad.
Unfortunately, he does have that.
Speaking of bad shape, what the fuck is it up with Marty Jannetty?
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
He went on a coke binge.
Apparently.
I hope it's some kind of joke. Like, I hope it's just an old guy who doesn't know how to make a joke on the internet.
He looked like Steve Austin.
Yeah, like he looked like, if you guys remember, right before Scarface grabbed that fucking rocket, I'm reloading, when he's sitting at the desk and he just jams
his face into the pile of coke.
Yeah, that's exactly the face that Jannetty had on, and he made a big. I mean, there was a Facebook post attached to it saying, "I'm fucked up on coke right now. I wish I was a better dad." Like all this weird shit. Like, is it just a joke? Is it for real? Is this if it's for real, DDP needs to like kidnap this man and help him out.
DDP shows up out of nowhere, gives him a diamond cutter into the coke.
Yeah, right. Just he hits the table and just a big cloud goes flying.
The coke cutter.
It looks like the world's largest LeBron James just got called into the game in the starting lineups.
This is brutal. This is so bad.
We're sorry, Marty. We love you. Get some
Marty,
help,
we still love you. It's okay.
I think DDP needs to send him to his forced yoga labor camp like he does with all the other fat people. And
oh, God.
DDP's like, get on the train and you will do yoga. It's dog position. You will like it or suffer.
It worked for Jake. It worked for Scott Hall. So.
It did. It's a good program.
Yeah, where are they now?
Not dead. Hey.
Right. That's good.
Let's start the Brock party.
The biggest Brock party of the summer.
What if they did that? They should change the thing for this SummerSlam.
I want to see Heyman doing air guitar again too.
Oh, that was. I mean, Brock held the belt like the boombox on Monday. So, hey, let's continue it.
So Taker Sting SummerSlam.
I mean, it sounds like it's happening.
Fucking why not, bro? At this point, I mean, we don't have enough time to get into this. Maybe we do. I was talking about it last night. while we were watching this stuff, the reason the belt keeps going back to Brock is nobody is a fucking star except for Brock and all the legends. They put all their after Cena, like even during the middle of Cena, they didn't build anybody up that was going to be the new Cena. And when they finally decided to pull the trigger, they went with Roman Reigns, but because it was so obvious that he was being pushed as a new top guy, he was rejected, and they didn't have a plan B. So now you've got Ambrose, who was your other top guy, who's fucking gone, and you've got Seth, who people like, but
They booked him like shit for his title reign.
yeah, it's like when you go to a restaurant and you want to order the special, but they're out of the special, and you have to order something else. The something else is Seth Rollins. It's like, oh, I'll take the prime rib. Oh, you sold out of prime rib? All right, I'll take the Seth Rollins. Like, he's good, but, you know, he's not. It's not your go-to.
All right, well, then here's a question. Who there right now on the roster could be that guy?
It could have been Braun, but they fucked it up.
Could have been, if they pulled the trigger on Braun at the right time, it could have been him.
I think it still could be. There's still
That's
time.
why I thought Braun was going to win that Battle Royal last night.
Yeah, well, the thing about Braun is it's so easy to build him back up. All you got to do is get a fucking tanker truck, and he flips it over, and the thing explodes into flames, and he's back on top again. People just like it when he flips shit over. It's so simple to figure out.
They were always able to go from main event to opening match back to main event, you know?
Yeah, and I think with a big, with a giant like that, I mean, you can just do.
Chris Jericho had that ability to go anywhere on the card.
Well, I mean, Chris Jericho is one of the greatest of all time.
It's Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I mean, I like
Ralphus put him over. It's about Ralphus.
Ralph. Yes,
Ralphus from Hall of Fame.
that guy's probably dead. But if we can get Ralphus on the show, can we get Ralphus?
We got to get him.
Pay money.
Yeah, I mean, he probably needs it. It looked like he did a lot of meth. That shit's not cheap.
That shit's not cheap.
Yeah, he's coming on the show now.
What if we offered him meth? How can we get it? I'll just buy you some Sudafed. How about that, Ralphus? I'll just buy you some Sudafed and some bleach, and you can use my bathtub and do what you got to do, man.
Get him some Tide Pods.
I hear the kids love them.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
man.
ran out of things to do, so let's do Tide Pods.
No, now they're licking ice cream and putting it back in the freezer. And I
What
want to
in the
punch
fuck
people
is
in the
that
fucking
about?
head. I want to punch him in the fucking head. Oh,
It's going off on a wild tangent, gentlemen.
it's the best shows that do that. We have a theme, but it's okay to venture off.
I'm gonna punch them in the fucking heads.
I mean, one of them, like, okay, we'll tie it all back together. The one where the guy opens up the big thing of Arizona iced tea in the plastic jug and spits in it and puts the lid back on and puts it back on the shelf. That guy was an independent wrestler, and he was spotted because somebody recognized him as an independent wrestler in the video and snitched on him.
That's funny.
That's good, though. I'm glad they snitched on his ass.
Drake Maverick versus the Bagel Guy.
Yes.
The
All
big-
right. Can we get the? I mean, they're going to be. Where are they going to be? Is it Toronto for SummerSlam?
Yes, they're in Toronto.
Okay, so that's
Damn,
not
where's-
too far from New York,
Hogan's
New Jersey.
Championship. Oh, celebrity wrestling when you need it.
I think the bagel guy, they could have him at SummerSlam. It's not too far from where he is. He's gotten big press all over the place now.
Who's shorter, him or Drake? It's kind of up in the air.
Let's see. I mean, I would love to. I mean, imagine when you go back, if they ever brought him on Raw or SmackDown or the pay-per-view, and you go back like 10 years from now and you're looking up the list of 24/7 champions, and right there in the middle it just says Bagel Guy. You go, what the fuck? Who the fuck was? Oh shit, Bagel Guy. He's gonna be one of those guys that you're not gonna remember from 10 years ago, but then when you remember it, you're like, oh shit, that was a thing. Bagel Guy is like the where's the beef lady of our generation.
Drake Maverick goes over every time, no matter what.
I think the guy has to throw a bagel at Drake and then pin him, and then Drake puts a bagel on a string and strings him along and then traps him in a cardboard box and then pins him.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Right. Okay, you get exactly what I'm saying. The fucking James was. Thank you, Eric.
I'm glad somebody got that.
Yeah, I'm okay with them using fucking Bagel Guy, Bagel Boss Guy, Little Bagel Boss Guy.
Mini
Little
Bagel
Drummer Boy. I feel bad because it's obvious. Here's what happened. The guy has he's got to have, I assume, okay, I'm not going to get sued here. I assume the guy has some sort of emotional developmental issue where he's not quite all the way there. And then he got bugged and bullied and made fun of for being short all of his life. So now he's got this big complex about being a short guy. So everything that happens to him is because he's short and people don't like him because he's short. He doesn't realize people don't like him because he's kind of an asshole. But being short doesn't help. So it's weird. It's a weird thing to see, but I can't look away. I love Bagel Guy. I think Bagel Guy should definitely be on Raw.
You want to step outside?
I want the Bagel Guy to get F5'd into a table full of bagels.
God damn. Be like little Spike Dudley getting.
It would really be like an F2.5.
So what about that terrible match between Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley at the pay-per-view?
That was terrible?
That was brutal.
What was brutal? Was it just too long?
What do you guys think?
I just didn't care about it.
I didn't think it was so bad, actually.
You know, it's funny.
I mean,
It was very memorable to me. Either way, bad or good. I think.
Here's what I will say. I didn't think it was bad, except they fucked up the angle shot at the finish, so you couldn't really see that he went through a horribly looking placed platform with foam all over it.
They fucked up almost every spot in that entire match.
Lashley
jumps on the barricade. Is supposed to be tossed. Trips on the barricade. Braun grabs him halfway through. He's like, oh shit, I forgot that this guy weighs almost 300 pounds. Let me pretend to chuck him. Lashley's like, all right, I'll sell this shit. Goes over to the table. Lands horribly. And then they're just trying to recover the entire time from there. Up and down the stairs. Fucking everything up. That shit was brutal. He chucks him into the t-shirt wall. He fucking tossed him into the t-shirt wall and drops him on his fucking head. Like, what is going on? And then that angle at the end, like you said, yeah, it was terrible. But I mean, there was enough mattresses down there that, you know, my newborn child could land perfectly from that height.
So what I've taken from this is that Sam loved the match.
Exactly.
I don't know. I didn't think it was so bad.
That was my point.
The finish was all fucked up for me.
And then throughout the match, magically, Braun Strowman's ribs hurt. Oh, God, I forgot my ribs hurt.
Oh, God, I forgot my ribs.
Wait, let me sell the ribs. Let me sell the ribs at this point. Oh, God.
Oh, that's like Seth Rollins' knee. Somebody looks at Seth Rollins' knee, and then he falls over and grabs, oh, my knee. And then all of a sudden, he's doing a goddamn springboard 450 splash to the outside through a table.
This
it's
is
like,
the man's knee.
Man's knee. Did you guys see what Russo said? Since we're getting close to the top of the hour, I guess we'll finish on a high note here. Russo said that he said on Twitter, his suggestion was that when Brock came out, Becky should have screwed Seth to allow Brock to win, and then that would add like a fucking classic Russo swerve to the situation.
That would have been fantastic.
Becky's response, because the verbiage, the way he phrased it was, he wanted Becky to screw Seth last night, talking about the pay-per-view. Becky replies with, I did. So she wins.
Becky's a badass.
I did think that something was going to go on because they kept pushing that idea of she looking at him and telling him, you know, I'm not going to lose my title. You know, you better not lose type of scenario. So that would have been good. And exactly
didn't Lacey have Seth written on her ass or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. And oh my God.
I think Lacey's fantastic.
I still think she's nowhere near Velvet Sky. I'm sorry.
No, that Velvet wins in that one.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
prime Velvet Sky years were good years, man. Oh.
Let the pigeons loose.
Oh, fucking Taz, let the pigeons loose. I still don't know what that means. Let the pigeons loose.
I will
but-
take Lacey Evans over Velvet Sky any day of the week.
Oh, boo.
She's horrible.
Lacey Evans needed more time in NXT. She's a pretty lady. I just think she needs more time in NXT. She needs more
She's
time.
fantastic. I mean, sorry, you put her in a program with Baron Corbin. What do you expect to happen?
Yeah, but like that's the thing. You take this relatively unknown person, you make them walk around on screen like an asshole for 8 weeks and not do anything, and then you put them in a main event feud, and they have had no matches on the main roster, and then all of a sudden they're in the main event feud. It just doesn't make sense. There was no build to her. Like if I would have even been okay with it if she started off small and worked her way up. She beat a couple jobbers. She beat a couple mid-carders. She gets to face Becky. Like it would feel like she earned it and was capable. Like, and I know heels are supposed to cheat and maybe not necessarily earn their title shots. They're supposed to like luck their way into them. But there has to be a certain sense of this heel could beat the champion in that case. Like,
and yet her entrance was the most talked about thing last night over the entire.
Because she presented her asshole to the audience.
It's a necessary thing. It's what we want to see.
This is not the American Kennel Club. She's not trying to win the award at the Westminster Dog Show. Like you don't need to present your asshole.
How do you know that? How do you know? She was not going for that.
Maybe she was, but it was very surprising.
Think about the psychology there, right? She's like, all right, I got to go out with this bald-headed asshole in a black button down, right? He can't get over if his life depended on it. What do I have to do here? I'm already against 3 men in the ring, apparently, for some reason.
She has to present her asshole.
If I present my asshole, everybody wins.
I mean, she did, yeah.
She was trying to be a team player.
The real winner was the cameraman.
Yeah, that cameraman got all up in there.
I think Paul Heyman was like, please zoom out, sir. It's important at this point that you zoom out.
Or zoom in. Who cares?
And then the guy zooms out immediately. He's like, wait a second, this is a mistake.
It's like, oh, I'm getting fired.
Yeah. Shit. Oh.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that brings us right to the top of the hour, and we got SmackDown with Eric Bischoff officially taking his position. So,
What do you guys think? Good show? Terrible show? What is it going to be?
I think it's going to be a good show tonight.
You always hope for, I want to stress something. If you think that we're negative about the WWE sometimes, and we are, I will acknowledge that, especially me. And it's not to say that I want the company to go out of business or Vince McMahon to fucking die in a fire.
It's better.
All this stuff. Right. We want it to be better. We want to present options to them and suggestions to where things could go and ways that you can utilize people better. Like with that women's 4-way, you could have put you could have said, okay, this is a first chance opportunity. These 4 women have never had a title shot before. One of them is guaranteed it tonight. And that's already more interesting than anything they could have done with those 4 in the match.
I think if Bischoff wants to succeed, he has to get Kevin Nash back as his booker.
Well, Kevin Nash is going to be back on Monday, so they'll just have to talk about it then.
Yes.
Big Daddy, they don't even call him Kevin Nash. Big Daddy Diesel, and they show a clip from like 30 years ago when he had long hair that wasn't gray,
And he had brand new knees. And then he sold his knees to Triple H.
That was, yeah. Oh my God, when he started grabbing his quad during that match with Sting. Oh my God, the Triple H's match with Sting. All of a sudden, Kevin Nash takes a bump and grabs his quad. It was like the best moment.
And he handed it off through telekinesis to
He handed
Triple
him
H.
off to Triple H, who handed him off to Vince McMahon, and the circle is
Oh
complete.
my god, that was the worst one.
Oh, that was the worst one.
Vince, I have to just say what you said real quick, that you don't want to see Vince McMahon die in fire. Didn't he do that already?
Yeah, he did that once. He had to come back though because Chris Benoit sucks at using a Bowflex, so he had to come back on TV and tell
And
everybody.
then Paul London smiled.
Oh my God, and that was the end of Paul London.
Mhm.
Literally. Yes, it's 8:00. SmackDown is probably starting. They're very prompt with those things when it comes to network television. So thank you for listening. If you're watching live on YouTube, you know to go to youtube.com, type in the search bar, tag me a date, no spaces, tag me a date. It's all one word. You'll go to our Tag Me a Date channel, click the subscribe button, Click the bell to be alerted when we upload new videos or when we go live. We go live Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. on Eastern Time. You can also check us out on Stitcher and SoundCloud and Google Play podcast repository. I'm not sure about iTunes just quite yet because Ryan wasn't on tonight, so I'm not sure. But you can also go to your app store and get the Tag Me a Date app, which is absolutely free. We're pending an update for the Tag Me a Date Apple app, but for you Android users, there is an updated app out there. You're good to go. It's free. Anything else we need to plug on talking about the app there, Steve?
That's it.
Excellent. So we've also got tagmeadate.com. So again, if you can't get the Tag Me a Date app, you can still go to tagmeadate.com on your mobile device, your tablet, or your traditional computer, and you can log in. It's free to subscribe. It's free to message. It's free to search. It is free to post status updates. All that stuff is free. We've already had a wedding from this website. So, it works. With our roster of over 70,000 superstars and divas, you can find your tag team partner on tagmeadate.com. Check it out. Be sure to follow us on social media at tagmeadate, Instagram, Twitter. I don't know what else. Just look for it. It's all at tagmeadate and Facebook as well. And that should do it. So, again, this was The War Report brought to you by tagmeadate.com, the first and only dating site exclusively for fans of professional wrestling. We will be back live next Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Eastern Time for another edition of The War Report. Thank you so much for listening and have a nice night.